to the Unlimited Sports Inc. podcast. I just want to get into this draft recap. I feel like the top five went about according as expected. Most people thought. Where it got interesting, of course, it had to be where the Chicago Bulls picked. They picked up Patrick Williams, versatile combo four out of Florida State, 6'8", about 225. Um, we're hearing some like poor man's Kawhi Leonard vibes about him, stuff like that. I think that was the first reach of the draft. I think somebody like that you could have picked up at 7, 8, maybe even after 10. Um, and then of course my Cavs did not draft who I thought they should have drafted in Obi Toppin. I think it's going to be a pick that they regret, just like some of the other ones, just like the Anthony Bennett in 2013 and Dion Waiters, I think it was, in 2012 with the fourth pick, and Tristan Thompson with the fourth pick in 2011 instead of all those different options. I mean, we know how to blow through some lottery picks. The only solid lottery pick I'm seeing of recent memory since Kyrie was I'd have to go with Colin Sexton with the eighth pick. I think that's been our most productive pick since Kyrie in 2011, first pick. Darius Garland, the jury is definitely still out on him. I see he has the little toolbox, the hezzy dribble, all of that. He has the possible Trae Young like range, but his game is nowhere near consistent enough. It just doesn't seem tough enough. I don't know if he can make it. He's gonna have to bulk up a little bit just to get stronger, and he has to show some type of like I want it. Cause I'm not seeing that from Darius Garland. His game seems it seems a little soft. So I want to see more want out of him. Definitely going into this next season, you were the fifth overall pick. So we need at least a sniper out of him or something. We need some production out of Garland. Besides that, Isaac Okoro with the fifth pick, not a fan of it at all. It wasn't only because my favorite player at that fifth pick was Obi Toppin. And the different connections there. I just feel like he's behind the learning curve. Isaac Okoro is years away from being that solid go-to guy you want at the three position. I understand we're in a rebuild and stuff like that, but I mean, with the fifth pick, you could have traded down to 8. If you wanted him, you could have picked up another first rounder from the Knicks. So if you didn't want Obi, you could have traded back with a Detroit, with the Knicks team, got the 8th pick and get you another first rounder, maybe even 2 second rounders, since we don't have any for the next 3 years, due to the KPJ trade. There was too many different options. Don't get me wrong. Everything I'm seeing, hearing, that I've seen personally for myself about Isaac Okoro, great kid, athletic, has the potential to be one of those like defensive stopper guys, come down, can possibly get you a mid-range like bucket. So ceiling wise, if everything goes right, perfect scenario, I'm hearing Jimmy Butler like, mixed with like a Caron Butler, solid, tough guys. So yeah, that's something that's needed, but with the fifth pick, I feel like it was a supreme reach. I just felt like you could have did more with the pick. I felt like they should have just went with Obi, as they were continuing to let guys go, like Tristan Thompson, which I called. They're most likely going to trade Andre Drummond and Kevin Love this season. I mean, even if you're trying to compete, let's be real. I'm not sure this team is going to the playoffs. We haven't made that much of an upgrade. I mean, you pick up JaVale McGee in a second rounder, yeah, that's cool and all, but do you really want JaVale McGee on your team? Does he really want to be in Cleveland? He didn't even want to be in Philly when they were going through towards the end of their process. So, I mean, just not really understanding it. I understand our cap space is spent, but I'm just not a fan of this Isaac Okoro pick. I feel like if you want to contend, or even if you're still in the rebuilding phase, hell, you might as well went out on the free agent market. You could have got a Bogdanovich. It's options out there. that was way better than the Okoro pick. Because we're talking about a guy with a shaky jumper. People try to compare his situation to Jaylen Brown's, which I don't see the comparison because Jaylen Brown is a better athlete. He's a little bit bigger, slightly, and his shot was still better looking and more consistent. So, he's developed into a pretty consistent three level scorer and mid range and long range shooter now for the Boston Celtics. So overall, that fifth pick, just not a fan of it. Sixth pick overall, you have the Atlanta Hawks. They just add more power and depth and versatility with Onyeka Okongwu with the sixth pick out of USC. He's getting a lot of Bam Adebayo comparisons. Great kid. He has the heart, the will. You can tell he's going to be productive in that first year with the Atlanta Hawks. They're going to bring him along. They have depth at every position. They have a veteran coach now who's been on one of those coaching trees as an assistant coach for years, and Lloyd Pierce. I think they're primed to get at least a 5 through 6 seed. I can see it. 5 through 7, 5 through 6 seed. Their bench is a starting five itself. It's like a developmental starting five with somebody like Rondo running the ship on the second unit. That is amazing. So he's going to do nothing but instill those guys confidence, in the right place, and make sure that they're in the right spots to score. He's going to make sure to hit them in their spots so they can score for that second unit. That's a huge help to Trae Young. It's not that much of a drop-off now when you go to the second unit. You have another year of Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, Okongwu coming off the bench. They still got Kevin Howard coming off the bench. He was another guy who was like a mid-teens first-round pick for him a couple years ago. So that team, man, that's how you rebuild. That's how you rebuild. There is so much versatility and just solid picks around that are developmental that you can see those guys turning into solid, good players. That's how you draft. That's how you rebuild. So, I mean, maybe the Cavs need to take a few notes from them. Who knows? Continuing to go through the draft, it was some surprises in the first and second round. One that I'm definitely a fan of is that kid, Alec Pokusevski, to OKC. Believe the Minnesota Timberwolves traded the 17th overall pick and a few other pieces or draft capital, and OKC made the deal work as well. But man, that kid is 7 foot, about 200 pounds. He does a little bit of everything. When you watch his game, some says he's kind of like a Kristaps Porzingis. I see more of a Bobo and Jokic in his game. But as he develops over the years for a team like OKC, special. Him and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Theo Maledon, that they got in the second round. That they got in the second round. You develop those guys with Lou Dort and Zealand Cheatham, young guys that came from Arizona State just a couple years ago. That's how you continue to get that energy, and you develop these young guys. You get a couple veteran pieces on the team to help mentor them along. And I feel like OKC is on the right track. They won't be down for long. With that much draft capital, you're either going to hit home runs, swing for the fences, you're going to get you a few quality hits, or you can trade them all together for an established all-star. So, once again, as usual, man, one of my favorite GMs in the league, Sam Presti, salute to that guy. Overall, it was a decent draft. You got the feel that majority of these guys in this draft are going to be, at best, that high-end glue guy, high-end role players, elite role players for teams that are trying to contend or win a championship. So, overall, I feel like it was a good draft, man. I wish my Cavs could have done better. It's been a few steals, like I said, overall, but it was a fun draft. I was trying to see some of those names, some of those sleepers get picked up, or some of those favorite like college players or guys that you keep up with get picked up in the second round, but some did, some didn't. But overall, man, believe it or not, I feel like certain teams like the Knicks took a step in the right direction. Not just because of the Obi pick. They signed an undrafted free agent in Miles Powell, who was a certified bucket for the Big East last year. You need guys like that in the Mecca, in the Garden, who's going to bring buckets. They're going to get the crowd excited, or whoever is there, due to the pandemic. High flyers like Obi, who reminds them of Amari Stoudemire when he was there, and certain guys like that. And then you got a R.J. Barrett, and then you got a Mitchell Robinson. These are guys that are gonna have that dog and have that hunger mentality in them, and then it's only gonna get heightened with a coach like Tim Thibodeau or Tom Thibodeau, excuse me. So I like the pickups they've made. Hopefully he doesn't run them into the ground and truly develops these guys. Because, I mean, he's been responsible for, a couple guys being injured and banged up in their youthful years, and it changed their careers. So hopefully he's taking some notes. He seems how he has to work with these guys to get the best out of them. But I definitely like the progression that the New York Knicks have made. Lakers, of course, the rich get richer. They just continue to add free agents and young talent. Man, we're going to talk about free agency as well. Um, the first mysterious question I got about free agency. Mitch Kupchak. What is that man thinking when he's shelling out these contracts? Luol Deng, 4 years, 60-something million, back when he was GM of the Lakers. 4 years, 72 million, I take that back. 4 years, 64 million to Timothy Mozgov. He was one of the first contracts after our championship year here with the Cavs. He was one of the first departures. 4 years, 64 million. Him and Deng really didn't do much at anything. They were just contract fillers and trades over the years, just because of their number. The Terry Rozier contract, I'm happy for that guy. He's local too, from around this area. I feel like that one was pretty fair though. I thought most probably, thought that he would get somewhere in the 40 to 50 range, but hey, they shelled out 63 million. I think he'll be worth it. He's definitely a productive player and he's going to give you his all. So I can see that one. Not too much complaining about that one. Gordon Hayward getting the same exact deal that Kevin Love got once LeBron left Cleveland again. 4 years, 120 million at age 30 going on 31. Wow. I was the first one or one of the first people who understood the contract situations. Inflation, it changes the number. Back in the day, we were used to seeing guys get 4 years, 44 million. Okay, pretty decent deal. Yeah, that same deal now is about 4 years, 72 million. Real is real. I get the numbers. I know the inflation, so I get it. This one is still an overpayment, especially with a guy coming off an injury who has not seemed the same when the games count. Let's be real. 4 years, 120 million, 30 million a year. He and Kevin Love are making the same amount every year. And Kevin Love has not been the same since the burden has been back on him to be the team leader. We're not getting our money's worth as Cavs fans, as an organization. That's true. Love the guy. Great dude. But we're not getting our money's worth from the basketball player. I feel so bad for the Charlotte Hornets fans. The organization, it's like they continue to stab themselves right in the back, shoot themselves right in the foot. They usually can't draft well. The LaMelo Ball pick, hopefully that works out for them. But, I mean, if MJ has his fingers in it with this GM and the past GM, they drafted nothing but power forwards and centers. With the exception of maybe one or two drafts, they went with a guard or a combo forward. I didn't understand what were they thinking every draft. I didn't get it. But man, my heart goes out to the Charlotte Hornets fans, man. That's a lot of money on the books, and I hope you guys get the production out of them because it's going to be a hard contract to trade for any value. So Mitch Kupchak, I don't know what he's on right now, but man, hopefully that works out for you. If not, you got to explain this deal to the fans because they questioned it immediately. And he hasn't even been introduced to the Charlotte city yet, I don't think. So I don't understand that one. But some more solid moves by the contenders in free agency. The Pelicans are going big and strong. Their projected starting five is looking like a possible combination of either Lonzo and JJ in the backcourt, or they're going to go Bledsoe and Lonzo. And then you're looking at Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Steven Adams in the front court. My gosh. Top five possibly defensively next year is it's coming because that's a whole lot of defense all around. And then I'm just hoping they have enough shooting. If JJ starts, that's a sniper right there. You know what he's gonna be on the floor to do. I'm excited for him. They have a bunch of young guys off the bench who are still developing, who I have full faith in. Nikhil Alexander Walker is gonna be a possible six man of the year type of player. He reminds me a lot of Spencer Dinwiddie. Love his game. Good kid, another Canadian. Jackson Hayes, the eighth pick, same draft as Zion. He may be a trade chip in the future. He has all the makings to be another Jared Allen slash DeAndre Jordan type of player. Very exciting, very youthful. Can jump out the gym. They got a lot of pieces. I'm happy for them. The Bucks made a few moves. They couldn't get Bogdanovic, but they were able to, find a way to try to, facilitate a trade. They got Drew Holiday, added him to the mixture. They also got DJ Augustine, who I feel like is a supremely underrated player. He helped steer that ship steady for the Orlando Magic to even make it to the playoffs. He was their guy. He was their general. And a lot of people forget DJ Augustine is a lottery pick back when he was drafted. Even though he's, an older vet now, that is a great point guard who knows the game and he gets it done. I love guys like that. So to have him and Drew Holiday in the backcourt, even if he comes off the bench or if they close with both, that's solid. Those are two go-getters, two fighters. They're going to go try to do whatever it takes to win, and Giannis needs that help. So solid pickups for them. They still have Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez on that squad as well. So I look for them to finish in the top three in the East, barring injuries or anything of that nature. And then also shouts out to the younger guys getting the max extensions. Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, and De'Aaron Fox. Bright young talents who want to shoulder that load as franchise cornerstones. Not just for the money, but they want to be the guy. They want to continue to get better. They want to be better teammates. They want to make their teammates better. They believe that organizational field. And I salute that. I salute those guys. You got your first big deals. This is it now. Now you guys are the for sure bona fide leaders and stars of your teams. And I just hope you guys can develop and show these young guys and show these vets that you're capable of it. So those young guys deserve the bag. I'm glad that they finally got it. But wrapping everything up, man, it was a crazy draft. Next year is probably going to be even more talented. 2022 is going to be supremely talented. And 2023 has a chance to be very special as well. So stay on the lookout for those drafts, man. Free agency is still ongoing. I want to take a quick look at the free agency list, man. There's still a few really, really good free agents out there. I even seen one of the names, Hassan Whiteside. Like, are you serious? Hassan Whiteside can come into any organization and be a starting five. Instant rim protection. Guys like that, they do nothing but help. But you got to make sure that you got the right coach, the right GM, the right guys that's going to make sure that his focus stays straight on the right path. But when he's on the right path and he's focused, he's a defensive anchor. He's a guy who's a walking, talking 16 and 16 a game. He's going to get you about 2 to 3 blocks a game. So, hey, it's still a lot of good money on the board. So, let's see where some of these free agents go. Trying to find it right quick. But, yeah, as I'm looking here, of course, Anthony Davis hasn't signed his extension or anything yet. The rumors that are coming out are that he's waiting to see what else the Lakers do, and they may possibly make a run after Giannis. We'll see. The jury is still out. Still got some wily veterans who can definitely produce. Kyle Korver, Jamal Crawford, Isaiah Thomas, Mighty IT. I want to see him get another shot. Wilson Chandler, solid two-way guy. Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Damari Carroll, another solid veteran. Tyler Johnson, Evan Turner, my Ohio State guy. Langston Galloway, solid backup guard. Shabazz Napier, another one. Frank Kaminsky, Anthony Tolliver, Urson Ilyasova, Ian Mahimi, Jared Dudley, the Riley old vet. That guy's going to talk more than a little bit. J.R. Smith, Reggie Jackson, quite a few names left. Thon Maker also being another one. So it's quite a few names left on the free agent market. I want to see what teams acquire who. Who's going to go after who? Who do you think your team is going to go after? What do you think your team needs to improve next year? Or do you think you might just so happen to have a team that should just tank it out and go after a top talent? Let me know. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hey, let your friends know. But the Unlimited Sports Inc. podcast is nice talking to everybody. Another episode in the books, and I will be coming back very, very soon. Also, I want everybody to stay tuned with the Vent podcast, Air It Out. I got a few more episodes uploading and coming. Of course, I want to have some more awesome future guests to come on and talk and just have some good back and forth conversation vibes, and hopefully some people learn some things in between. Besides that, I also want to say shout out to the Daniel Artest podcast. It is up and going. Be sure to go over to his Patreon and subscribe to the Daniel Artest podcast. He's had some great content and excellent guests that have come through lately. You guys got to stay tuned. Shout out to my guy, John Kristen Cunningham, Jocks and Nerds Unite podcast. Check him out on all platforms, especially. And also my guy, Mikey Damagala from Official NBA Buzz on Instagram and Inside Buzz on Instagram. This kid is really doing it. He's made it up now to have a co-host on a Pod Center show or a podcasting show. And it's pretty much kind of like a Sports Center like show off, spin-off, I should say. It looks like a lot of fun, man, but my guy has talked to a lot of people in the podcasting field through his Inside Buzz page, and the kid is doing a lot of great things. So I just wanted to say salute to that kid too. Everybody in the sports podcasting field, man, it's beautiful to see everybody gets to eat. Everybody gets to have their piece of success or continue to do what they love doing. So I'm a huge fan of it from everybody. So whenever I'm on Facebook, I'm checking out everybody's content. Whenever I'm on YouTube, I'm checking out everybody's content because you guys inspire me. We're teaching each other. We feed off each other's energy. And this sports podcasting field feels like a true fraternity, a brother and sisterhood for everybody. So everybody keep up the good work, man. Keep grinding. Continue to get those guests. Continue to ask those questions. And continue to come up with the great content you've come up with. I'm a fan of you guys as well. So big shout outs to you guys. Big shout outs to the fans. Continue to support. Go to teespring.com/Unlimited Sports Inc. Or you can go to unlimitedsportsinc.com. Hey, check out my gear. Support. We have hoodies, t-shirts. I'm trying to get the sweatpants and hats in there. We have a whole bunch of different gear, all different colors. We even have mugs now. So, hey, show love, show support. It means so much to the Unlimited Sports Inc. brand. It's only me. I'm a one-man band, so you got to keep it rolling. See you guys next time, man. Stay posted. And like I said earlier, like, share, comment, leave feedback. Tell me how you guys feel, too. The Unlimited Sports Inc. podcast. Until next time.